Lord led me to turn on this camera and start recording. Your girl don't even have her eyebrows filled in right now. But we're going to make it do what it do. I do not. I am not in the business of putting God on hold to be aesthetically pleasing, right? So we don't ever want to say no to God because of something as superficial as not having makeup on or having a dirty hoodie on because I was eating in the car and everything falls in my belly. So hopefully you guys can't see that in the camera, but let's go ahead and get back right into the message that I have for you guys today. So I'm driving in the car. I'm listening to Sarah Jake's conference that I went to a few days ago, and she wasn't talking about this per se. However, it just really just fell on my spirit. We need to stop being victims. We need to stop claiming victimhood. I don't care what you've gone through. Like, and I used to hear that all the time, and when I was going through it, I was like, lady, you don't know what it is I'm going through. And I just hate it when people say, well, I don't care what you've gone through, you're not the victim. I completely understand, because when you get out of that mindset, you have a different perspective. And we have to stop being victims. When I was in a horrible marriage and dealing with all types of things that I don't wish on anyone, I felt like a victim. I felt so helpless. And I explained this before in another video, how I contemplated suicide and, just was like weak, completely weak. And looking back on it, I realized at the moment I didn't feel weak, but at the moment I just felt helpless. I felt like I had a right to feel weak. I had a right to be weak. I had a right to, get up in my feelings and be sad and, woe is me. And it's not the case. It's actually a mechanism that the enemy uses to keep you in whatever bondage he has you in. If I'm looking back on it, if I really think what good about it, I realize that my breakthrough and the moment where God spoke to me and told me how to get out of that situation was when I stopped victimizing myself. When I stopped looking at myself like the victim. When I said, you know what? This is not what you promised me. This is not what you said about me. This is not what you said I will have. This is not what you said I will experience. And so something is not adding up. And it wasn't until I found my strength. It was when I heard from him. That is when he said, daughter, this is what I need you to do. But before that, I was so stuck in woe is me that I couldn't hear from him. I wasn't even ready to hear from him. We have to stop victimizing ourselves. Yes, it is okay for you to feel. We are meant to feel. We are meant to have feelings. We're created as humans, and in our human nature, even though we're supposed to have the nature of Christ, our human nature feels. Our human nature has emotions. Our human nature is reactionary to certain things. But there comes a moment where even the Bible tells you that you can, that joy comes in the morning. It's only but for one night. That means it's supposed to be temporary. So you're not supposed to wake up, go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep, wake up, feeling the same way. That means you are allowing the enemy to completely bombard your mind. Bombard your mind and victimize you. You are looking at yourself less than who you are. So if you are an heir of Christ, if you are a child of the Most High, there is no reason for you to be, woe is me, and oh my gosh, and look at my life, and how could this happen to me, and blah, 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 blah. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it. Yes, I am not trying to be insensitive. I am not trying to be insensitive. But I understand why that is the case. Because when you triumph through it, because you will, you're going to get through it. It depends on how long That depends on you. That depends on how long you are allowing yourself to be a victim. But you're going to get through it. And you're going to get to the other side of that mountain. And when you do, you're going to look back and say, dang, I really sat on that other side for a little longer than I should have. So I'm speaking from the person who has gotten on the other side of the mountain. I'm over here now. So I can tell you, hey, it doesn't last forever. You are not a victim. You are not a victim. Put your big girl pants on. Put your big boy pants on. Start professing the word. Start going to God. Start speaking to that devil. Start speaking to that situation. We hear it all the time. Sister, I know you listen to the sermons I listen to. I know you listen to TD Jakes, and I know you have your pastor telling you, speak the word, speak the word. I know you hear this. Are you doing it? Are you doing it? You're not doing it. You're not doing it. You think it's cliche. You think, well, everyone says that. You just don't know. You're not in my shoes. They're not in your shoes because they spoke the word. They're not in your shoes because they did what they're telling you to do. You are not the victim. You will triumph over this. You will get through this. If you believe the word, if the word says that you're more than a conqueror, that's what you are. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know. I don't know. If it's drug addiction, if it's an abusive relationship, if it's poverty, if it's financial strain. I'm speaking to every situation. There are resources. Find them. Find your courage first. No one can help someone that's not willing to help themselves. Find your courage. Find your strength. So you get at his feet. You nag him until he answers. But the last thing you need to be is a victim. The last thing we need is another victim. You got this. But you have to believe that you got this. I love you. I am not... Mom used to say, I tell you the truth because I love you. I'm the one that corrects you. I'm the one that tells you, I used to feel picked on, as a teenager, as an adolescent. Your mom is always, don't do this, don't do that. This is how you wash. You didn't wash your face well enough. You didn't brush your teeth well enough. You didn't do this homework well enough. Like, you feel like, dang, do I do anything right? But I realize, as a parent now, that she only did it because that was her job to do it. She was doing it out of love. And I am telling you, out of love. People are telling you, out of love, to stop being the victim. Put your big girl shoes on. Put your big girl pants on. Put your big boy pants on. And get to work. Speak to that thing. It is not bigger than you, and it is not bigger than your God. Love you. Peace out. I'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll look a little better than this. Have a good one. Bye.